Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th, 2025, 4:52 p.m. coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. State of the market, we are still in an uptrend. Market leaders with the green arrow, short term, still above the 21 EMA. Medium term, still above the 50-day, so we still have a green arrow there. And then long term, when the small caps and mid caps get back above their 200-day moving averages, we will likely move that to a green up arrow. What happened today? Market pulled back on Israel and Iran conflict. 21 over 21 list down 1.62%, four stocks up, two neutral, 15 down. The T10 down 3.21%, one up, one neutral, eight down, big eight down 0.65%, RG8 down 1.44%, S&P 500 down 1.13%, RSP equal weighted S&P down 1.21%, Qs down 1.26%, QQEW down 1.53%, Dow Jones down 1.79%, mid caps down 1.58%, small caps down 1.85%, 60/40 down 0.82%, GROTECTION down 1.29%, and Turbo down 1.84%. Jumping right to the S&P 500 chart, as always, you can see we tried to break back above 6,000, but we've rejected so far. And we put in another distribution day today on the backs of the Israel and Iran conflict. Now you can see there's some distribution days starting to pile up, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the last few weeks. So that is an early warning sign, but we're going to continue to monitor the action. We're still well above the 21 EMA and leaders are still acting well. Continue on, the RSP. Rejected 180, back to the 200-day moving average. Big distribution day today as well on the conflict. Qs as well. Broke this rising wedge. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth, seventh distribution day in the last 4 weeks. So they are piling up here on the Qs as we approach previous all-time highs. Perhaps we just need a handle to be built, maybe back to 500. That would be quite ugly, but it'd be completely normal. We came back to 500 and built out this right side before putting in new all-time highs. Equal weighted Qs also broke back into the base, still above the 21 EMA. Gap down, could barely rally. Let's just go right back to S&P real quick and look at the 5-minute. We gapped down, sold off, tried rallying, and then we had more or escalating Iran and Israel conflicts, with Iran retaliating with 100, 150 ballistic missiles. So that led to the sell-off in the afternoon. Mid-caps even weaker, back below 21 EMA, rejected the 200-day moving average. Russell as well, rejected the 200-day moving average and back to the 21 EMA, retesting this base. Still fine action, but we want to see us hold here and get back above the 200. VIX closes back above 20 for the first time in a few weeks. That is not a good sign. It means uncertainty is picking up, and above 20 is higher volatility. And so we'll see what happens here if the conflict resolves itself, but it seems like it's just starting to escalate, and we'll find out what happens over the weekend. Dollar still remains weak. Not too much to say here. Gold makes a new all-time high after this conflict. Really strong. And gold still showing that it is the currency or the safety asset when there is fear in the markets. Because Bitcoin traded down, bonds traded down as well, I believe. We'll look at that in a second. Gold miners makes a new 52-week high as well on this news. Silver just flagging sideways, still acting really strong. This looks like it wants higher. And then Bitcoin down 1.58% today. And back to the 21 EMA. So still building higher lows in this handle, but still weak today after the conflict. Bonds, we'll go to bonds. Yields were all up today and bonds sold off. So bonds aren't even really acting as a safe haven either on the back of this war news. 10 years up 4 basis points to 4.4%, 2 years up for about as well to 3.95%. And this is a combination of tariff uncertainty, fiscal responsibility with the new budget or the new reconciliation bill, expanding our deficit to 2.5 trillion and expanding our debt by a few trillion as well if it does pass through the House, Senate, and the president's desk. So that's it for the inter-asset correlation. Now onto the tail of the tape. I already mentioned the VIX above 20, which is not a good sign. News: Iran retaliates after last night's Israel strike against nuclear facilities in Iran, killing a few high-ranking military leaders and nuclear scientists. And Israel said they weren't going to stop until they annihilate all the nuclear scientists and prevent Iran from developing a nuclear bomb. And then Iran said that they're going to retaliate and not let, and they'll continue to retaliate with even greater force. Today's keys are watching the S&P versus range 6,000 to 6,045, which we broke down from Qs versus the 528, 537 range, and the Russell versus 200-day moving average. Day count up 4 out of 5 days to down 1 now. First day back below the 8 EMA and still 36 days above the 21 EMA. Talk about the action. Sectors: bonds are up, so bonds are down. Dollar is up, oil and gas, gold, silver, uranium. All this is pretty much catalyzed by the military conflict. Financials, tech, staples, Bitcoin, semis, quantum were some down sectors as well. In GROTECTION, we added to SSO, but we sold Bros, Ethereum, Soxel, and trimmed IBIT. 1.25 beta, 3.55% open heat. Turbo sold Rocket Lab and trimmed Ethereum. 1.7% beta, 4.57% open heat. And the bottom line is market pulled back on Israel versus Iran conflict. Well, I'm going to quickly go over the actions today. SSO, we started rallying in the morning, and as we started doing that, that is where Dawn added some SSO to grow. And of course, more military conflict causes S&P to roll over. Bros, 1 second. Bros just broke the 21 EMA, got rid of that. Ethereum also failed breakout back in the base, sold that. Semis, look at SOX, just decided to take some profits, take some beta off, especially since the 3x levered semis, seen some distribution come into the market, come into this ETF as well. And with the height uncertainty, decided to take that off. And then finally, in GROTECTION, we trimmed IBIT, which also saw a failed breakout, although it did hold the 21 EMA. In Turbo, we got rid of Rocket Lab, breaking the 21 EMA, and then Ethereum, same commentary there as well. Going over some of the other names, let's go over real quick. We talked about IBIT, we talked about Ethereum, Soxel, which we got rid of. Spotify continues to trend higher, which is a sign of leaders doing well. NVIDIA, one of the #1 names in the market, still well above the 21 EMA in tight day. Hood, another liquid leader, great action as well. GEV, same thing, great action. And then Palantir actually made a new all-time high today. And then finally, HIMS continues to trend above the 21 EMA. In Turbo, the other names that aren't on the grow, Mexico continues to trend well, bounce off the 21 EMA. Lu, extraordinary action, all-time high close with the nuclear fuel name. PEM tried to break out above 72, but came back into the base. So that's still great action right now. FMR pulling back a little bit, but still normal action. ARM, actually, we did get rid of ARM as well. So I did not add that into this part of the video, but yes, we did get rid of ARM as well. And then Uber is pulling back, but still holding this 82 level. So that is still fine action right there. Back to the tail of the tape to finish this off. S&P versus the range of the 21 EMA. Oh, sorry, Monday's keys, we're going to watch the S&P versus the 21 EMA all the way up to 6,045. Qs, 520 to 537 range, and the Russell versus the 200-day moving average. So now I will go over the 21 over 21 list, top 5 stocks, and then top 5 losers, and then the Turbo 10 list, and we'll call it there for the week. Palantir showed extraordinary relative strength. Again, they're an AI data company that works with the government to kind of identify early forms of terrorism or just help with the military. The Spotify starting to flag here. I already talked about this while reviewing the portfolio. This looks like it wants to head higher, not impacted by the war. Chewy, huge gap down. It is up today, but horrible chart now at this point. NRG is forming some tight days at the 21 EMA, and then ZS continues to trend really nicely. This is a cybersecurity name. On the downside, Carvana breaks the 21 EMA. That's not looking that great anymore. Soon it might fail back into the base. Bros breaks the 21 EMA, like we talked about. We sold that GROTECTION. App also breaks the 21 EMA. Light holding above the 21 EMA, but still trending nicely. HIMS as well, still trending nicely above the 21 EMA. Toast breaks the 21 EMA. NVIDIA holds above. Uber breaks the 21 EMA. GEV continues to trend nicely above the 21 EMA. Boeing off the Air India crash, now living below the 21 EMA. And Hood still continuing to act well. Onto the Turbo 10. The only green name today was LEU, LEU, nuclear fuel name. That's extraordinary action. And then on the downside, NBIS saw a 6.3% down day, build breakout back into the base. Cecil puts in a down day, but this is normal action because Cecil has a 10 to 12% ADR. So 1/3 of the ADR is completely normal. Qubit, same thing, like a 10 to 15% ADR. So 5% down day is completely normal. eToro, just horrible failure. Lemonade, pulling back to 40, still normal action. It was already extended. And then SMR, healthy action or normal action as well. Rocket Lab, like I said, we got rid of this one. And then HSI, we're trending above the 21 EMA, but just struggling and extremely choppy. So pretty much the main conclusion of today's video, market's pulling back, rattle a little bit on the Israel and Iran conflict. Most of the time, or almost all the times in the past, it just blew over and the markets were back in. But who knows? There's always that one time that it escalates into something worse. So you can only take it day by day, and we'll see what happens over the weekend and into next week. That being said, if you're interested in what we do and have any questions, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. Twitter X is Ted H. Zhang. Our phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Our website's revereasset.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter on the site or even contact us there as well. And then our social medias, our YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Revere Asset. And if you enjoy our content, please like, share, and subscribe. With that being said, when we wrap up today's video, it's June 13th, Friday, June 13th, 5:04 p.m. And yeah, have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.